mound. Did not like that call. Here's the 1-2, and down he goes. And Braun will probably have a parting. Now Craig Counsell is out. Yep, the second look. He gave him one look.
Strike 3 called. And some words with Kerwin Daniel, and he threw him out of the game.
Of doing something to cost him a couple of games. At bat after that pitch. He fouled off the second pitch to make it 0-2, and he was still worried about the first pitch. Belges just got rung by Kerwin Daniel.
And now Puig tosses his bat and his helmet into the batter's box.
Mark Rippinger and Hill are nose to nose. About what, I'm not sure. Don Mattingly is going out to find out. I don't know that Hill's been ejected, has he?
Carlos set up well off the inside corner. Again, I'm still thinking I'm bouncing a pitch in the dirt, especially 0-2, or even a fastball down and away.
Hector's yelling at John Tumpain. That pitch was in off the plate. And he's just been tossed. Will get his money's worth. Hector was yelling in after the 2-0 pitch to Wieters that missed in. Tumpain said something back to him. Carlos started to go out there, kind of got in between them, and as Carlos started to head back, Hector kind of waved him off.
As Diaz rings him up, Melky thought it was outside. And apparently, he said the magic word.
Well, I don't blame Melky, and obviously
2-pitch that was close, but just off. Justin wanted it.
It's not just one pitch. For everybody at home, it's not about just one pitch. It could be a culmination of pitches. And this will be on the other side. You can see him chirping. Hoberg coming out to make sure.
Tap slowly out in front. Pomeranz doesn't pick it up. And the ball is thrown down the right. Hold on now. The umpires are putting the runners back at second and third. And Bob Melvin's going to immediately come out and argue.
I wonder if something happened in the down in the bullpen.
They must have called it a dead ball down there. I think Bob Melvin just got thrown out as he's got a pretty good beef going with Mike Wynn.
Now, in fairness to Hendricks, I think he was having some fun out there.
Yeah, he's having some fun. Oh, no, he's gone. There's no way he's going to stay in the game. That pitch is ridiculous. I knew he was going to get tossed. Bob Melvin, what do you say? He called me a bad name?
It's a single by Johnny G to lead off the second. You're now 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs to Altuve.
And cut fastball inside part of the plate.
2 on, 2 out for Echeverria. Ball 1. And Flowers is really upset. He's really fighting for his pitcher, and he just got thrown out. Can't argue balls and strikes. That's cause for immediate. That's been boiling all night.
Again on 3-2. And that is strike 3. And Souza not happy. Kevin Cash is going to come out. Cash said, hey, don't be too hasty. How about checking with the guy at first?
Last weekend of July, it is one of the most popular music festivals we ever present. This year we've got Mary J. Blige, Usher, Cam.
Interpret that, or is it the ball sticks or is stuck?
They're saying it apparently is not a lodged ball. Well, Brian Price is just
called third strike, and Sano slams his bat down. He's done for the day.
As Jason Hayward goes down swinging on the ball in the dirt, and then pointing again, and he gets tossed. So Matt Wieters, the Nationals catcher, has been tossed out of the game. Wieters really giving it to him, but Matt Wieters out of the game.
Strike 3 called. Down looking at a fastball, and that ends the inning.
But a damaging inning for New York, and Jeanette's just been thrown out of the game.
To sing God Bless America and stands right beside all the chaos that's going on at home plate as she begins to sing.
From Wilson. Strike 3 call. Redot's been thrown out. The third Dodger thrown out today.
As he's caught the game and then what he's seen on.
And Machado had seen some pitches out of the zone that he'd been called out on in recent days, and Ricky Renteria wanted an explanation from Will Little. He got his explanation. It was the heat.
But I don't think that was the reason he didn't catch it. Who's it going to be? John Ryan Murphy. And Eddie Green has been tossed.
Going to have to wait and see if it is in fact if Machado makes contact with him.
The magic number. Once guys start to get
and
to that
another
mark.
backwards K. And now Ryan Rayburn hanging around. Second time he's been called out by Lance Barry.
So turn around.
And he just got thrown out. Lance Barrett's having a bad night with the strike zone.
Okay, so he's walking away. Nobody knows what's going on.
Ooh, halfway to home plate, and the pitch is
to the balk.
Yep, first base umpire has called a balk. Ryan Blackney.
You know what?
As
he started his delivery, he continued. Sure, he sped up. Okay, starts right, continues to go. Oh, you know what? His foot. I just noticed his back foot. It came off the rubber, then it is still in contact with the. You know what? You know what? I don't think it's a balk.
Well, the second thought here. Now Hurdle, he'll be right up among the league leaders this year. Managers getting ejected. Now they're going to have Andy Green come out and explain. Now maybe they're going to confident pose at the moment, as if he might have won the argument. He's gone.
Good for Andy Green. Get your money's worth.
It was, and called strike 3. And Cargo saying you can't give them both. And now Joe Madden's going to come out and try to protect.
Wondered what it was like for a hitter and if you felt like you had to be swinging.
That was a strike.
Oh, yeah, those are tough pitches. Those are tough pitches for me to be taking right there. I mean, 3-2, I'm not leaving the ump up with that choice.
And Nick Lentz very calmly put his hand up, told
3-2 to half. Strike 3. It was off. No, he got kicked out. It was definitely off the corner. That's a pitch Carapaz has been. Should have been ball 4. Still 5-1.
Got him swinging, and that's that. Carson Kelly ties the game with a home run in the 9th and wins it with a homer in the 11th as Bradley continues to chirp towards the Dodger dugout. Muncy joining. Alex Verdugo. Now Dave Roberts. Saying to that man, who are you?
Fan tagging. Here's the throw to the plate. White umpire Edwin Jimenez has to hold back Fan. He's not backing down. He doesn't like that. We ain't taking that from the Brewers. I don't care how many L's we got this year. We ain't taking that.
That's center cut. Contreras looking for something else.
Away, certainly continued to look back. He's saying he didn't say anything. Now he's saying all those things he said he didn't say.
Wow, Ollie's got to hold him back.
He's right over the top, and he's got one of the best sliders in all of baseball.
That caught Russell Martin on that.
See Archer.
Yeah, he understands that may have had a little intent behind it, and he's standing up now.
That hit him.
Yeah, it did. That's going to load the bases. Bobby Wilson is arguing.
Steps out and motions to Urania. Takes ball one from Urania and takes a couple of steps in his direction. This is not.
Now they're popping on the left side. Davis been thrown out of the game. Well, between innings in the dugout, little frustration. Chris Davis ended up having to be held off here, and it was Brandon Hyde, the skipper, who walked away, but something was said by Hyde to Davis. Mark Trumbo, of all people, who's here with the ball club, part of his
Brantley 1-2 swing and a miss. Clayton Kershaw perhaps thinking that he hit Brantley on purpose, and then Kershaw says, hey, what did you say? And Woldus kept on going to the dugout with his back to Kershaw.
Back to the pitch before the home
pitch, and that's not his place. If the guy wants to have a little beef with the umpire, then let him have his beef. So that might have been it.
Contreras to right. Markakis watches it go. A basket shot. Number 16 for Contreras.
Flowers Contreras now having some words here at home plate.
I don't know what's going.
Contreras was really pointing toward the Braves dugout as he made his way around the bases after his solo homer the other way. So let the kids play. All right, you're going to let them play. This is what you get.
Oh, yeah. I exactly see why Tyler.
Oh, Augustine Ramirez is getting into it with Austin Jones, and here comes Clayton McCullough.
How about we need you to stay in this ball game. Try to calm down. Trying to play peacemaker. I love Ramirez, though, on that one there.
Have very above average major leaguers, so that Kiermaier said is a dangerous thing.
And now Baraki hits Kiermaier on the first pitch, and it's just natural to wonder if this has anything to do with yesterday and
The problem I have with this is George Springer is your third hitter.
And Dom goes down swinging, and Alvarado extricates himself from the jam. And we've got a lot of screaming and yelling going on, and now Alvarado inviting Dom Smith to come at him, and both benches have emptied. This goes.
Frazier is hit by the pitch. And now he takes a couple of steps. And Wilson and Frazier are going to jump. And here come the dugouts.
I'm thinking, holy smokes. Castellano is hit by the pitch. 2021.
No, the emotions are real right here. You see the hard tag by Woodford coming in making the play, but Castellanos in his face. Jake Woodford's not taking it. Yachty ain't taking it.
Wad and just
but we'll see. Oh, huh?
Well,
he could throw him out.
He could be tossed out of this game right now.
You could throw to first. He knew what was going on.
He's been thrown out.
Stands, and it's pretty fun to watch.
Well, if not cookies, they were falling behind, and then if they wanted to pitch to the guy, they had to come in with a pitch, and that's what speed does to a defense and to a pitcher, doesn't it? It applies.
Tough. Make it easier for the guys behind you, but tough for the pitchers. But these guys, they don't think about that.
Tell you what,
got some action going.
3 hits tonight, a double back in the first, and that goes behind him, and Cabrera stares out at Ramos. Not at all happy with that. Ended that when as Dribble Cabrera hit that walk-off home run at Citi Field last September against the Phillies, it was against Ramos, and he had.
Here's the 3-2 delivery on the way. That one's sliced to fit hard, but right at him. Look at this. We're going to have the dugouts empty in here. Nagowski and Strowman, both dugouts, bullpens are starting their way in.
Looked like it started out with Peraza talking. Tom
Rojas down, but Rojas clearly taking offense to something Strowman either said or did, and it was on.
Rojas doesn't look upset.
Donnie is running out of players tonight. All of the position players used, and now Brian Anderson and Yadier Molina getting into it. And a few from each side in to break it up.
Rondal takes a ball in the dirt, and Jose peels away. Throw down to second, meets him there, and he is out.
Well, he went in real hard to Goodrum.
And Goodrum is jawing at him, and Jose's going right back at him. Jose is really not happy with being hit by that pitch, and now the benches are going to clear.
Location to the hitters when he was on base, and Robbie seems like he's not too happy. Norris, Chavez looks like, well, I don't know what he's talking about, but Norris was the one who was upset.
We've been told this is a fluid bullpen. We're coming out now. 3 Mets hit by a pitch yesterday. It sounded like Buck and Dave had cleared the air. They know that they're standing on the mound. You're hearing the boos again because he came pretty aggressively off towards, it looks like Buck Showalter may have said something.
Last year, he gets hit. And for Santana and the Dodgers, they're lucky they didn't hit him. Because if it doesn't, the game's probably over and that ball's at the backstop. And now Mateo and Santana coming together. And now this game's fit. Muncy hits this ball to deep right field. Forget about it. Muncy with a splash hit. Oh, that thing was hit so far. Don't look at me.
Some boos.
And not that I agree with the Angels, but I understand that the Angels felt that, and now Albert Pujols is yelling at somebody in the Astros dugout.
Albert Pujols is getting in it with this is what's going to happen when you start throwing at guys' heads.
Pitch. Hits Stanton, and Stanton gives a little look, and now has something to say to Mike Fiers. And now Stanton going to take a step towards him as the benches will start to trickle out.
Boston.
Good work, Law.
I think at that time in his career, really was away.
Hayward.
What is going on between Hayward and Bumgardner here?
After he struck out looking, he said something to Bumgardner.
Swing and a miss.
The amazing thing is this is the most quiet Kyle's been all season long in a game. He hasn't been animated at all tonight.
Right. Nothing wrong with that. Rooker Ridlin. Indians 3.
Carlos Gomez, the center fielder, comes in.
Anybody want any hot chocolate, any coffee, donuts?
Number 4. Teammates in Milwaukee, so they know each other.
Ooh, and Dylan Betances just... I did not do that intentionally. You see Betances yelling at him.
I said I wasn't doing that on purpose. Look. And see Sanchez trying to hold him back.
Oh, look out, and Hoskins is hit by the pitch. And Carl's been ejected.
Have enough information to tell you this was on purpose. It's a cold night, Jessica, to your point. And he popped him up. Romo with a 1-2-3 inning. But after he leaves the box.
He smiled after him after he knew he missed that pitch, and then I think Romo got it.
Franco gets hit.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, kid.
And Manoah comes charging in.
Yeah.
Orioles bench coming out.
But for a young player, I don't think he was. And again, he got the arm underneath the baseball, and it rode up to Frank.
Contreras saved 2 times. Adel Narvaez and
yucking it up with Pat Murphy, it looks like. And meanwhile, some other guys are kind of getting after it a little bit, airing some grievances.
To 53 pitches. And on the first pitch of the 4th, he gets Kurt Suzuki.
Walter said something to Suzuki, and Suzuki's going back to flips the bat,
I think he's staring out there. Watch Walters. He looks at Suzuki and then says something right here. I heard him say something way up here.
Inside ball 4. Hoskins saying something to Castro and McCann walking him up. Now
pretty good command, and those were well in off the plate, those last 2 pitches.
And I agree with you 100%. He fell behind and was like, pleasure.
And we're starting to find out more about Mike too. I mean, he's a baseball man through and through, and there's out and watch, he runs on the mound. You just never see that. Don't do that. And thank you, Jim. Just ran on the mound of Miles Michaelis and Brad Thompson. That is.
And he throws behind Stanton. Well, you knew that was coming, or at least you had an idea it was coming. And here come the Marlins, and here come the Dodgers. Miami's not in a great mood. Kershaw is in the middle of it, jawing at Stanton right now.
It's 2 outs in the 9th. Swing and a miss, and that will do it. Chapman does. Now they have some things to say to the Yankee dugout. And now the Yankees are moving toward the Rays, and this is not supposed to happen with the social distancing rule.
Good work ahead of him. Man, it's tough. He has a lot of emotion when he's out there. You know, I don't know if he was calling out Anthony or I'm wonderful, and then somebody from the Cubs dugout probably had something to say. I mean, into
deep left center field, and this game that was aggressive.
It looked like he was defending the Yankees' integrity there after the accusation of the whistle.
Umpires and coaches are doing their best to defuse the situation. Here come the bull
count, and he lays off, and look at Diaz. Full-on competitive nature of these two. And Diaz took that breaking ball and started chirping at it like Juan Soto.
It was almost like he was yelling at him.
Anderson strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts. Marcus Strowman now has words with Anderson as the benches are going to come off, and Anderson took exception to what Strowman was doing. And now
you can see Justin Verlander getting into it with one of the Yankees trying to get at somebody that's dugout. Castellanos and Verlander talking to and watch Martinez and Verlander. Verlander kind of blows him off, says something. Martinez doesn't like it, and now they're going to have to hold Victor Martinez back as Verlander walks away.
Hudson willing to just take his base.
Yep.
But some others taking umbrage over there in the Brewer dugout. Jason
was the swing and the fly ball and the out. And Baez hears something at that point. And then Aguilar's got to get in the middle of it. Blyer may or may not have something we can't really read. His
Detroit. Fast. And you can see the conversation going on with Votto here.
You could read his lips looking into the dugout. He said, I had asked for time. And hits Puig, and that'll open up the are getting into it. Adrian Gonzalez and Molina have to be separated by the home plate umpire. Here's Adrian Gonzalez, and Yadier Molina got into it.
And see him say something, I think, there.
And now Musgrove and Donaldson are starting to jaw. And Donaldson just shoved Diaz away, and he wants a piece of the pitcher.
Boston dugout. Tom Foley. Angel Hernandez over addressing the dugout, and now here comes the rest of the Red Sox and the Rays.
He swings and drives one deep. And Carlos Gomez,
especially when it doesn't even go out of the ballpark.
So now there's Cole. He's saying something to him. It was right as he was getting up out of his slide.
Couldn't tell who it was.
Now they'll be looking. That's what it is right there. We just saw him again.
Just out of the.
They'll be looking at this, I'm sure, and they'll figure.
Ventura's right there.
And staring at him again.
Yeah. Wise decision by Perez too, and Wolf. And you can see Albert Pujols came flying down from second base also.
Wore 33 in high school, all because of Babe Ruth.
Ellsbury makes the move. And right between them is Eric Cooper. And Gomez cuts the mustard, and he's known for that. And the Yankees didn't like how he ran down.
And Machado. There goes the bat. You know where that bat was intended to go? To the pitcher. And that's why that's why the catcher rather jumped out in front, and here they go.
He is steamed.
And he's letting him have it.
Mark Ripperger, all-plate umpire. Just threw Felix out of the game, not surprising.
Well, that has to be a first. I've never seen that before.
It starts to cool off. Football season around the corner, but baseball getting right to the important start.
A.J. Ellis now getting into Todd Titchener's grill.
What two? Rodney wins the battle. Cabrera with a stare back out at the mound.
Jose Fernandez was down 4-1, and now that pitch is behind Jose Fernandez, who takes exception. The ball thrown behind him, and Tyler Flowers is all in Fernandez's face.
And Freddie Freeman jumped right in front of Jose.
The 1-1 pitch that Puig fouls back. Puig returns the ball, and the bench is clear.
Tim crushes this ball. He throws the bat. The ball goes flying. It is gone.
Royals tied it. And Maldonado gets right in Anderson's face after Keller drills him with the first pitch. And here
runner on second base. Jones will go towards third base. Donaldson, who is going to tag him, and gets the out. And Manny Machado didn't like it, and they're having words. Machado slammed the helmet down. He thought
that one, making sure of the tag.
And he got smoked on the very first pitch. Nails Ronald Acuna Jr. And now the Braves are coming out of their dugout looking at Urania. And now both benches are going to empty.
Brian Snitker's leading the charge.
And he hit.
I think Brian McCann and Freddie Freeman are doing all the talking. And then Gomez starts chirping. Gomez just standing there watching it, and that's something that's kind of a no-no. You don't want to do that, but the Braves started
quite as good as Rick Porcello. And comes after the home run, and he's got something to say to Norris, and Norris points at the plate. The dugout's empty.
Make a change.
And he's still hollering at him, and Hunter's coming over. Hunter's coming over towards him.
And I'm turning double play and a ground ball. Heads up Kevin Franzen.
Look at that. Gomez. And here come the dugouts. Good call, FP.
And that pitch up and in, and it hits John Harlan's dugout right now, yelling at Fires.
Well, I'll tell
They're
you
not
what,
real happy.
I'll tell you what, I don't care if he meant it or not. You want to create a little something.
And here they
Let's
go.
get going. That's what you have to do.
The Marlins are coming out.
You can't let your big guy go down.
Reviewable. This is McGee getting tossed.
He was on deck.
This is a challengeable play.
Look out. Carp gets hit. First base. Now Ortiz is fired up and trying to get to Bryce and Molina in between, but David is fired up as they come closer.
Ejected. There it goes. That was so awful.
Tight game, home run, one-run game like that.
The thing that doesn't make sense that I didn't notice.
Watch the lay down of the bat right here. Just lay it down. How do you want to go about it?
That one is smoked to left field, and there. Down swing.
DJ LeMahieu. DJ's 2 for 2. And DJ get the best of him.
Well, that's the whole thing. The line drive back up the middle, then the tossing of the dirt towards DJ.
Whoa. And did that hit him? I think it went behind him and popped a bunt up. And he is hit. And now they're liable to get angry after that. Uribe is mixable.
Denard Span wasn't ready. He looked up and Cliff Lee was up.
Span checks in.
Here we go.
Now Denard Span on his way back to the dugout. Still having words with Cliff Lee. The dugout's empty.
To the season for Headley. First 14 games hitting .409. Last 18. 176 and
that's
now.
wrong. Why can an umpire sit there and point? That's bullcrap. Absolutely bullcrap.
Donaldson gets hit by a pit, and Donaldson has something to say to Volquez. And now everybody converging, but Donaldson's been red hot. He's had 7.
You know, from the waist down.
In here. Slowly hit. Bumgardner is going to grab it, flip it to Belt, and they got him. And then
Bum looking at Puig, Puig looking at Bumgardner, and then this maybe just a bad look.
He would like himself to do, but he's taking his walks.
Checked his swing and took a strike. And Molino. And then this, deep down the left field line, home run. Something happened.
I mean, I shouldn't be laughing, but I mean, I've never seen that before.
And then Josh getting his money's worth.
Oh, that hits Laurie. My goodness. Laureano, and that's the second time. Now he's pointing at Castellanos. It looked like a breaking ball.
Yeah.
So, folks, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea.
Here's a 1-2. Line drive into right field's going to drop in for a base hit.
Kemp's being waved to throw the play. He is out at the plate. Big collision between Chirinos and Kemp. And some pushing and shoving, and here we go.
I'll tell you what, Robin.
And there's one warning behind the back of Victorino, who didn't like it because it was up around his head. Victor. He stated his case. Yep. And he continues to corrode.
I think he's talking to Perella at second, and I think it's about transferring signs.
Everybody's been warned already.
And the reason they buy either pitcher.
We are back here at Petco Park, and Dave Roberts going after Andy Green.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. The runner left, bottom of the 10th coming up. It'll be Colabello, Kubel, and Suzuki, but we got a fight. We got Donaldson is chewing on somebody, and everybody's coming.
Ross gets his face out of the way again, and it's 3-1. And Ross yelling out at the pitcher, Bud Norris. And then Wieters got in the way. That's the third pitch that's been up near his head.
Yeah.
And the benches will empty here at Fenway.
A little bit closer. Waiters immediately.
Right in the face of Brandon Phillips. And we've yet to set the stage about everything that happened, and you get a look at it. For those who may not have known, Brandon Phillips last night, to both Jim Day and Hal McCoy.
Team introductions.
Franco gets hit and then glares it out of the dugout. That's ridiculous. It's also when it escalated a little. And now Paulson getting into it with Franco. And
wow! Right in the middle of the leg, and Harper is very unhappy. Here they come from the dugouts, and if that wasn't intentional, that's the miss of the year by a.
Oh, then he hits him. Oh, he's ticked. Hits him on an 0-2 pitch. Just trying to keep him out. Matt tried to do the old end around.
Peralta got hit last night. This one was heat seeking in towards him, and he didn't like it. Words now exchanged.
Well, you don't like to hit twice. I don't blame him.
That one again.
The human bottle of 5-hour energy. Nick Markakis with that home run. This place was up for grabs about 5 minutes ago. Contreras and Francoeur now having words.
Off that first inside fastball, Francoeur started to talk to Contreras.
And everybody out of the dugout.
Right here.
Well, Bumgardner better get out of there.
More so than
ball guy, and
Walker
gets plugged again. And Christian is not happy. A little bit of jawing going on.
The Diamondbacks are coming out of their dugouts, and here come the
Marlins. In the D-backs dugout.
You know those Diamondbacks are going to come busting out of the dugout close to him. And he may be explaining himself.
You're not thinking about anything but gas. I mean, he stalks you the way that he sets up, and he'll go mid to high 90s, and he's got a hard slider.
Is Pagan having a problem with Norris?
Down here in San Diego, he's definitely tuned up. And he blew that right under his.
Maxwell's coming in. Bumgarner's yelling at Guerrero.
Well, I don't think he liked the way that he left the box. Something with, and you can see Bumgardner woofing at him.
Upstairs, throw back to second, and Cabrera's back in there, and some pushing and shoving here. Rosales and Cabrera, and they're going to separate those two. The bench is quickly empty. And now here they are, the two of them together, and so.
Fernandez, left field, it's deep, it is! Johnson from third.
And goes to the backstop, and Robles has been ejected from the game.
He didn't do it on purpose.
And now we got some serious hard feelings between these two teams.
Fastball, isn't it, Ronnie? I think it's a slider.
Yeah?
I think it's a slider coming out of his. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, he letting them have it.
Lifted in the air to center field. Adam Eaton backing up. He's at the track. He's at the wall. And the Dodgers tack on one more. And here's a play at the plate. Puig is out.
Trying to do way too much here by Puig.
The line on to Shields. He skies one to Bumgardner looking at Shields. And yeah, that's going to draw. Happy about what's going on. And Adrian Beltre now maybe not as irate as Bumgardner is, but he didn't really appreciate Bum.
All-Star game. Oh, and he got us an L. He's staring down the Cubs dugout. Yes, he is. And we are letting him have it. Leaves it alone.
everything's okay, but he's got a frustrated team in the other dugout, and he's kind of dismissive with his reaction.
It didn't sound like Rizzo was.
No, Anthony, he did not instigate that. Anthony, if somebody said something to Rizzo from the Reds dugout that he responded to. And Watson just hit earlier. For the Pirates, and now we've got this.
And that might have stopped everything. But once he stopped to talk to Watson, that's when the fireworks started.
I'm sorry, I was staring at the videotape trying.
Number one is?
That's awful. That is awful. He's got more. That's ridiculous. Chase Headley reaction.
Went behind him. And now he got.
Yep, there it is.
There you go.
Now it'll get thrown out.
Now we're going to have some action.
Donaldson and Sabathia trying to get at each other. This is the last time these two teams play this season.
Santana staring out at the mound. Having words with Zimmerman.
He thought that was intentional. I can see why. That was right behind the hip of Santana. Santana's thinking, you've got too good control to miss.
Night, so that's going up. Cervelli hit with a pitch. And Cervelli thinking there may have been some intent behind that.
Well, no, he's upset with Walters. Walters.
The 3-1 for Dyson. Popped up. Foul territory. A fifth.
Is what. Here's what happened. Dyson just gave him a little tap, said, hey, man, it's over. He's like, why are you touching me? And the next thing you know, it goes to another level.
And a high fly ball to center. Back goes Pagan to the track, to the wall. He's on the scoreboard. It's 3-1. San Francisco. Watch Puig first. Okay, home run. Flips the bat. He came down to get the ball, and now he must have said something to Puig.
Ground ball towards second base. Kinsler's got it. To Simmons for one on the first. Right that baby. Out victory. A little argument there at second base, and the bench is clear. But a win for the Angels.
A hard slide, and listen, it's a good slide, but not change the path, and that's right there, a little push where Anderson Simmons isn't having it, saying, you kicked me. You can kick a guy. You're still allowed. But we got guys nowadays that have just gotten a little bit too sensitive. Look where he's pointing. You are allowed to go in the fourth.
Fights off for one. Stay alive.
Whoa! Back up on the
Flared in an awful hurry. Victor Martinez and Grant Belfort join, and benches have cleared.
That's hammered into left. Off the bat of Infante.
It's screaming at him from the mound.
Looked like he said get out of there as he was waiting at the plate for Infante. Sent Alex Gordon to the warning track, and he's hit by Sanchez. And Chu is just not happy. He is tired of people throwing at him, and he's just about had enough. And now the bench is empty because Chu, frankly, is just not going to take it anymore. And now we get.
Got it! And the Rays Nationals, and Sergio Romo is. Oh, you see Daniel Murphy, you can read his lips. So tempers flare as the game comes to an end. The end result, however, a one.
And Washington just tortured the Mets. This is hitting the air to deep right field. It's got a chance to fly.
Home run.
And now we have a whole lot of, in the end, nothing.
Now Dave Island. Now I guess Gagnon was upset maybe because Murphy showboated a little bit. So what?
Boy, that got Daniel Murphy are going to clear, and the bullpens are going to come in. Gagnon didn't.
He had a nice rhythm going, and there's probably the retaliation, and Gomez is thrown out.
That was it. And Mustakas saying, all right, I knew you did that on purpose.
Marcus. And did that hit him? I think it went behind. Yeah. And of course, that's the worst. Instinctively, the hitter is going to back away. And you can see Fedorovich telling the veteran catcher.
For 2 tonight. Look out. That was a off-speed 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. That's just what he did, and he got a swing and a miss from Correa to get out of the inning.
Astros dugout has something to say to Kelly as he walks back to the Dodgers.
Your local listings. Rich Hill trying to bunt for a base hit. Archie's on it and throws him out. Uh-oh, here we go. Rich Hill and Archie Bradley exchanging words. Benches are...
Hill trying to bunt his way on. Nearly hit him. Maybe that was the issue.
Usually a first place club would be really look at this. Look at this. Luster's, his body language has not been good. He's very frustrated.
And Andy Fletcher's trying to get. I've never seen this. Have you?
No, and David's got a chance of being ejected here.
Support wasn't there for him. Look out!
And Teixeira thinks it was on purpose. Ready to run in if anything escalates. Mets are out, the Yankees are out. They're just waiting.
Watch out. Escobar pointing into the dugout. And I don't think he's happy yelling at Brendan Morrow. Now keep in mind the last time. Oof. Popping up right there. A little upset at himself. To him, I don't know, but Trevor Plouffe kind of looked at him.
A little chirping back and forth. It's not that uncommon in Strowman starts. He's very...
Ground ball fair, out at first. The tag's on at second and out there. Souza and Tulowitzki, a little discussion going on. Benches start to empty, but I don't think it'll get. And a cut and a miss. Swing. Pilar goes back. The Rays and the Blue Jays coming onto the field. Souza and Osuna, however they got that way, took exception with what was going on, and now Russell Martin.
Seriously? Yeah, just throw him out. There's no warning. It's on purpose.
Now Joe's going to come out.
Miguel Sano. Oh, what happened there? He threw it behind Sano. Now Sano is pointing toward Boyd. And look out, McCann and Sano now. Sano threw a punch. He threw a right at McCann.
Yes, he did. Police 2 for 2 with a homer. That one behind him, and he starts to charge the mound on McCullers. And now players are coming out onto the field. The umpires telling him to go back.
And now some pushing and shoving over on the third base side as the bullpen's coming in.
Like, I'm okay if you throw 95, but I at least want you to be able to see where you're throwing. And what happened here? Mott upset about something. Pilar must have said something. And
oh, come on. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And Ricky's.
Deep drive to left. Junior Lake gets the Cubs on the board.
And Real Muto giving it to Junior Lake, who took a long time staring at that one. We had him with Castro here the other night.
The Marlins bench has already cleared.
Hit 4 in the 7th inning. Off of Herrera's foot. And Moustakas flips to second base, and a hard slide by Laurie.
The Royals, they've had enough. They've been hit more times than anybody in baseball, and now that was a late hard slide.
You know, and
that ball hit high and deep. Stretch, he's back, jumps, looks us.
Who started to charge the mound? That's what this particular argument's about. And right there, it looks like he gives the heave-ho to Jim Leland, and he
does it again, pushes it toward first. Revere had no read, and Valencia applies the tag. Not sure. bench is made clear here. Umpire
got him, and that'll end the inning. Bum got something to say to Myers, and now Myers is going after Bumgardner. And it's be wise for Bumgardner to get out of there.
And there is the bunt. And Hicks going to second base. And a collision at second out as Munoz and Sogard collide. Wants to take a look, and now Munoz comes up on Sogard. And he returns a favor on the bench.
Hamstring injury. Tim Anderson's going to get to third. Eaton is into second base, and he lost his hand on the bag. He is out now. He's going to say
he knocked him off the bag.
Jimenez knocked Eaton off the bag, and the benches are clearing. Oh my goodness! In the first inning, Adam Eaton and Andres Jimenez
right here. So you see it, right? Tatis thinks he's got it. Guerrero thinks he's got it. Look how he get turned around a little bit. He's like, hey, hold up. I got a shot. Boom! Situation. And then, now look. When you get to all of this stuff, I don't know what Machado and him had going on. You got Muncie chirping. You got.
He's all of this from the on deck circle.
Hold on.
See, hold on.
He knows. Napoli's 2 for 2 with a homer. That one behind him, and he starts to charge the mound on McCullers. And now players are coming out onto the field. The umpires putting their hands out, telling him to go back. Now we've got McCann.
Fly ball to deep left field. Kemp back. Kemp running out of room.
Suzuki had something to say to him at the plate. Brian Monua got right in there, and Bautista saying, I just have a little discussion. I just got my thing. And
he quick pitched him and struck him out. And Joaquim Soria with his first save of the year and number 204 in his great career. And now we have a little debate between Valencia and Soria. I don't know what that was about.
With the first pitch of the next half inning. And Quintero gets hit. He's unhappy about it. And now Quintero and Laird start to get into it.
You know.
Amir Garrett staring down Baez. Take a look at this.
Baez didn't like that. So Baez says something to Garrett. Garrett says something back, and pretty soon both teams are beginning to have
It looked like the first with traffic, and Nolan gets drilled, and Nolan's ticked off.
It's John at the Cubs dugout.
To hit the deck after he
and it's on the way, and it's swung on and drilled in the air. Long gone, and Baez watches it go.
Inning with Fielder and Beltre to follow. 5-4 Texas. The hits are in favor of the Rangers, 11-6. Each club has made one error. We've got an argument going, and Fielder was sprinting toward
into both dugouts emptying and coming to the plate. And in the minor leagues, they take care of this by.
There's a drive deep down the left field line, but it is hooking foul. Which could have put it back. That was a hanger. You need to know exactly what was said and what words were used to be sure what might have set somebody off on the.
That's a fastball for strike 3 down the middle at 100, and a throw to third. Tim is back in there. There was a push by Donaldson, and now here come the Yankees and the White Sox. Josh Donaldson and Tim Anderson are jawing at each other.
Daves and the Twins. Ooh. And Victorino hit by a pitch, and Shane heads out toward the mound, and the benches are going to clear. Whiteside is tackling Placido Polanco up the first base line. Oh boy, this is not good right now. The bench is clear. Here come the bullpen.
And it's up and in, and you had to know that was coming. And here we go. You knew something was going to happen, and here it is. Both benches empty, and they are really going at it now. But he knew what was going to be asked of him, and he dusted off Arenado, and Arenado.
Check swing, and it hit him. It popped up behind the plate and caught by Kelly for the out. Says it hit his hand. He's arguing with Ramon de Jesus. Him off. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, says he's out.
No, he said something to Pollock because he was taking his time.
right in front of the pitcher's mound, all the way.
Two. Swing and a miss. D-backs win. Into the LA dugout and points at Max Muncy and says, "Get out of here," as the D-backs hang on and win 3-2.
Takes ball one from Urania and takes a couple of steps in his direction. This is not the first between the Dodgers and the Marlins this year. You can understand why Puig takes exception to it.
There go the runners. Chagua goes to third. They try and get Souza. Souza coming in hot.
That's a big man coming in. And there's some barking out there.
He's hearing it from the Dodger dugout. And here come some of the Diamondbacks from their bench. The Dodger dugout is... There we go.
There we go. Even if it's not intentional, to have the ability.
Right toward the Tampa Bay players that are coming out.
Short right.
Yep, there it is. And now you're going to see Severino calling out the Blue Jays, and Smoke's right there. And now they're going at it.
On the field. Uh-oh.
And that absolutely was. Oh, that absolutely was.
All right, here comes Bill Miller in from first base, and the benches are clearing. Here we go. Park got one up and in.
And again takes a sign and the 1-1. And he drills him. So Ramirez, who has hit a pair of home runs, probably feeling like there was absolute intent there. Now the warnings by the home.
I don't know if he says anything or not. I'll get you back. Looked like he said, "I'll get you back," right?
And Cervelli gets hit by Marquez, and now he and Tony Walters getting into it. Cervelli acted like it was on purpose, and now both benches are going to empty. Tony's
Oh, hey,
what the heck?
That's ridiculous.
Whoa, all four.
What the heck?
And he takes a strike. Go back in there and watch the video of it. I'm going to prove it to you.
Yeah, throw him out.
Yeah, Votto's still. Kratz got tired of hearing it from Joey Votto.
I got Kratz in this one.
Oh, wait a minute. A balk. And strike three called. Escobar. Now it's going to start again. Escobar came walking across the field. The Rays were leaving the field. And Escobar starts
on the 2-0 inside. Heffler trying to hit him there. No reason. Ryan Braun saying so far off the plate, and he's feeling the same thing, and the benches start to pour out here. Nick Hundley gets between Braun and Bumgardner, who's barking back.
left side, hit hard right at Arcia. 2 hours upset. Aguilar and Machado got tangled up at the back.
Swing and a high fly ball right center field. It's playable. Harper in the alley. Kingery is there. They're both caught. Game is over. Dodgers 7-6 as they earn a split of the series. Max Muncy has come out of the dugout. He's standing over there staring.
Time called, and this one to the screen. And now Gray barking back out at Beckett. Well, that was much closer.
Yeah, it was.
Looking at it now. And now again, the benches.
Pushes it right to Valencia. They get a tag for out number 2. Now, is he going to beef about the tag? You got to be kidding me. Come on, I'm not sure why.
Like, I'm okay if you throw 95, but I at least want you to be able to see where you're throwing. And what happened here? Mott upset about something. Pilar must have said something. And tempers flaring a little bit. Not clear.
Little tapper somewhere.
It's a fair ball.
He's something. Let's watch.
But he wasn't Ruiz. What you don't want him to do is to go into any type of that with a mask in his hand.
Will Smith misses up and in with ball 4.
Tells him to go and take your base.
Yep. The hit streak will come to an end, but Soto does.
Wow.
This is not a friendly competition between these two. After.
And Joey Votto is barking at somebody. I think he's barking at the pitcher.
And Rowan Wick began the at bat with a pitch up and in. Votto continues to gesture and yell in that direction.
That's a fastball for strike 3 down the middle at 100, and a throw to third. Tim is back in there. There was a push by Donaldson.
Again, as Tim scampers back, and what he's saying is he need him and then pushed him off the bag. And you can read.
That hit him. Now Scott Service, one of the first to spill out. That escalated quickly.
Flex, it looks like it.
It clearly changes direction.
Yeah. So I think, and that's why
they've thrown somebody out over there. Correct?
Yes. I thought Jordan Baker, the first base umpire, he was over towards the Houston dugout, and he was the one.
Know all about it. Garrett didn't get a chance. They're chirping at one another. There's plenty of animosity between those two, as Baez tells him.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Kershaw, another. Kershaw, perhaps thinking that he hit Brantley on purpose, and then Kershaw says, "Hey, what did you say?" And Wotus kept on going to the dugout with his back to Kershaw. Of the Dodgers-Giants rivalry, both dugout.
And this conversation took place after the inning was over. Andy Green said a few things, and all of a sudden, Dave Roberts wants a piece.
Braun, the 2-0 inside. Hefner trying to hit him there. I mean, there'd be no reason. Ryan Braun saying so far off the plate, and he's feeling the same thing, and the benches start to pour out here. Nick Hundley gets between Braun.
Craig Counsell wants to see if the umpire issued a warning.
Oh! Fastball running up and in, and Juan Soto is feeling that one. On base for the 5th time tonight.
Watch it at the top of the screen. Laz is going out.
Nothing at Fenway.
Laz Diaz is yelling at Bryce Harper.
Oh, Bryce didn't like that.
Bryce can stay in the game.
Target away. Harper up the middle. Swanson will get the shootout at first.
Ground ball towards second base. Kinsler's got it to Simmons for 1 on to first. Light that baby up as the Angels turn the
slide. And listen, it's a good slide by Rougned Odor. He can still reach the base. He did not change the path, and that's right there, a little push where Andrelton Simmons isn't having it, saying, "You kicked me." You can kick a guy. You're still allowed to kick a middle infielder. But we got guys nowadays that have just gotten a little bit
payoff pitch. That one's too far out. Soto will look out to Diaz. Swing and a miss. Called strike 3.
Drive to first, and then watch. McCann became the buffer.
Was that Noah there?
3-2. He struck him out. That was right over the heart of the plate. Big, very long. Now Clayton Kershaw shouting towards somebody. It's the home plate umpire, Tom Hallion. I'm not sure if it was initially direct aim.
That's going to drill him. He gets hit by the pitch.
On purpose a lot of times. You don't stand up. In my opinion, there was no intent there. The ball just got away from him.
Well, the umpires are warning both benches. They have warned Pivetta.
That's a bad warning, too.
That's one of the reasons Nick is a little upset right now. And they're screaming back and forth.
For the first time. And Juan drives one out to left center. See you later. He knew it. NCR of the year.
Today, oh boy, oh boy. Well, he's saying something to the pitcher. Uh-oh, here we go now. Everybody watch out. Suarez had something to say.
Sometimes he'll pick up signs. Alex Wood thought that Pirela was giving signs away. So after he gets the ball back, he starts yelling at him. To do that again, something, 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 something. Stop giving him signs. Pirela's like, huh?
And Contreras hit by a pitch, and now he's pointing at Boxberger.
Well, you can understand what's going through Contreras' mind. He got hit in the head last night. They came up and in on here, got him in the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. Votto. And Votto has some words. Contreras strides toward Votto. Votto's taking the gear off. Contreras taps him on his hip. Delano to Shields coming in hand.
My goodness. That's for Michael Kopech. Mateo just gave him a look there. I don't know what he said, if he said something, and now he's staring him down. And there's some yelling from the Baltimore bench.